Hello everybody, welcome to another Nephilim Builds. It's Pride Month and we're celebrating by making various LGBTQIA+ characters in media because fuck Trump. Today we're gonna hex some tech as Jayvik from Arcane. As always, keep in mind these videos are about capturing the spirit of the character rather than capturing their abilities perfectly. With that said, let's address the obvious.
But Nephilim, Jayce and Viktor aren't gay for each other.
Then explain all of the looks. Explain the excessive use and emphasis of the word partner. Explain why Viktor visited Jayce in a fembot with a cinched waist and a sensual walk and then reenacted the Spider-Man kiss pose. Explain Jayce's speech about how Viktor's imperfections make him beautiful. Explain why Viktor Prime himself said that Jayce is the only person across all timelines who can help him see what's truly important. If you honestly think there weren't feelings there, you're either blind or lying to yourself.
But Nephilim, Jayce was dating Mel, he's straight.
First of all, that's bi erasure and I will not stand for it. Second, she was using him. And by the time it could have been real, he'd gotten wise and seen her for the home-wrecking hussy she was. By the way, no Mel hate in the comments. We stand a gaslighting, gatekeeping girl boss and I can't wait to see her wreck shop in Noxus.
But Nephilim, Jayce and Viktor are enemies and gay.
Oh sweetie, don't you know? That's the most popular kind of ship.
But Nephilim, Viktor said he'd miss Sky.
And she called him a liar. Are we done here? Thank you for being patient. I simply have no patience for the right wing this year. With all that said, let's get this video started with our designated disaster himbo, Jayce. Using the same pointer I put the 15 to strength, Jayce has that blacksmith build and that hammer is massive. Next we'll put the 14 in intelligence. He and Viktor created a whole new form of technology. They're pretty smart. After that's the 13 in constitution. Pretty sure whatever he was eating in the bad timeline came with some con saves. But by the 12 in dexterity, I want some AC, and then the 10 to charisma. Again, Mel was using him, he didn't pull her. But pulling a nerdy twink? That's light work, just call him a good boy. Lastly, we'll dump wisdom. He was way too quick to drop his principles for booty. For species, Jayce is obviously a human, so we'll get resourceful, athletics, and a tough feat. We'll take the noble background, putting our increases into strength and intelligence. We'll also get history, persuasion, chess because noble, and the skilled feat. We're going to go with survival, perception, and painter supplies. You know, for giggles. Moving on to class, we're going to start off as an artificer. We'll get intelligence and constitution saving throws and pick arcana and investigation for skills. We'll also be proficient with light and medium armor, shields, and simple weapons, as well as thieves' tools, tinker's tools, and smith's tools. At level 1, we'll get magical tinkering and 2 cantrips, getting booming blade and mending. We'll also get 3 spells, taking Shield of Faith for AC, Long Strider for speed, and Jump to jump good. At level 2, we'll get our infusions, taking Enhanced Weapon for a stronger hammer and Mind Sharpener for concentration checks. We'll also take Absorb Elements from Xanathars for resistances. At level 3, we'll get Right Tool for the job and our Artificer Specialist. We're going to go with our Artillerists, getting Woodcarver's tools and our Eldritch Cannon. If this thing can walk up a wall, it can hang on to our hammer. Don't worry, we'll get that in a second. We'll also get Shield and Thunderwave from our subclass for a barrier and a concussive slam. We're not going to multi-class the fighter, getting all weapons. At level 1, we'll get Second Wind in our fighting style, taking Great Weapon Fighting. We'll also get Weapon Mastery, taking them all. At level 2, we'll get Action Surge and Tactical Mind, and at level 3, we'll get our Martial Archetype. We're going to go with Eldritch Knight, getting War Bond and 2 cantrips. We'll take Prestidigitation for effects and Blade Ward for another barrier. We'll also get 3 spells, taking Mage Armor for AC, Magic Missile for some lighter shots, and Expeditious Retreat for dashes. At level 4, we'll take the Crusher Feat, Bumping Strength, and False Light for an extra barrier. Apparently, a lot of League items give you barriers. At level 5, we'll get Extra Attack and Tactical Shift, and level 6, we'll take the Great Weapon Master Feat, Rounding Strength. At level 7, we'll get War Magic. This actually works differently from before. Instead of making a weapon attack as a bonus action after casting a cantrip, it basically just becomes the Blade Singer extra attack. We'll also take Shatter for an AoE shot. At level 8, we'll take the Sentinel Feat, Bumping Strength again, and take Arcane Vigor for a heal option. At level 9, we'll get Indomitable and Tactical Master, and at level 10, we'll get Eldritch Strike. We'll also take Thunderclap for a shockwave and Enhance ability for superhuman feats. At level 11, we'll get another extra attack and protection from evil and good, and at level 12, we'll take the Resilient feat, Capping Strength. At level 13, we'll get a second Indomitable and Studied attacks, as well as Lightning Bolt for the big cannon shot. At level 14, we'll take the Skill Expert feat, Rounding Constitution, taking Intimidation, and Expertising Arcana. We'll also take Haste for some good boots. At level 15, we'll get Arcane Charge. Apparently there's a teleport in League, and apparently it's recommended for Jayce. Lastly, at Fighter and Artificer levels 16 and 4, we'll take the boons of Combat Prowess and Fortitude, raising our Constitution. Fun fact, Combat Prowess just says attack roll, not weapon attack roll, so it'll work on our Eldritch Cannon. We'll also take protection from energy from Eldritch Knight for resistances and cure wounds from Artificer for a potion. Now that we're level 20, we finally have our modifiers. Our AC with Mage Armor is 14, our movement speed is 30, and our average HP is 259 with 48 and 16d10 hit dice. And with that, we are done. but Jayce would be nothing without his partner. Using the standard point where we put the 15 to intelligence, Viktor is tied with Jayce for smartest person in Arcane. Up next we'll put the 14 to constitution. He survived getting blasted point blank by Jayce's hammer, and that was before his full upgrade. After that we'll put the 13 to dexterity, those robo legs really helped with his balance. We'll put the 12 into charisma, everyone loves a shaggy haired twink, and then the 10 to wisdom. So many signs to turn back, and he ignored all of them. Lastly we'll dump strength, a twink is a twink. For species, I think reborn is a fitting choice. You can even make yourself count as a construct if you don't want to be undead. But let's not split hairs here. What Viktor does in Arcane is just necromancy with a chrome paint job. We get deathless nature and knowledge from past life and take nature and survival. We'll make a custom background putting our increases into intelligence and dexterity. We'll take history and medicine for skills, the tough feat, and painter supplies. Again, for giggles. Moving on to class, we're going to start off as an artificer, getting all the same proficiencies as Jayce. Except instead of smith's tools, we'll be taking leatherworker's tools, for reasons. At level 1 we'll get magical tinkering, take guidance and resistance for our cantrips, and start off with 3 spells. We'll take absorb elements for resistances, cure wounds for a potion, and shield of faith for AC. At level 2 we'll get our infusions, taking enhanced arcane focus and the wand of secrets. You know exactly what this is for. We'll also take long strider for some good boots. At level 3 we'll get right tool for the job and our artificer specialist, taking artillerist again for everything that gives us. This cannon can just sit right on our back. We're now going to multi-class to wizard, getting ritual adept and arcane recovery. We'll get 3 cantrips, taking light to fill the slot, prestidigitation for effects, and firebolt for a laser. We'll get 4 spells, taking mage armor for AC, and then magic missile, chromatic orb, and witch bolt for more lasers. We're gonna try and stick to fire, lightning, force, and radiant damage for these. At level 2 we'll get scholar, expertise in arcana, and take protection from evil and good. At level 3 we'll get our arcane tradition, taking the School of Necromancy for Necromancy Savant and Grim Harvest. Again, what he does in Arcane is just necromancy with a chrome job. Those people are functionally dead. The moment Viktor's out of commission, they all drop. Also, side note, but how did so many people not realize there was hive mind shit going on until Viktor got blasted?
But Nephilim, if they're dead, then why can Warwick still move after Viktor is gone?
Because Warwick was literally built different. Anyway, we'll also take enhance ability for super nerd feats. At level 4 we'll take the telepathic feat, rounding intelligence. We'll also take blade ward to fill the slot and connect jaunt for some juke boots. We'll also take featherfall from artificer because what is fall damage? At level 5 we'll get memorize spell and take fly and animate dead. At level 6 we'll get undead thralls and take scorching ray for more lasers. At level 7 we'll take summon construct and clay form for chrome wick. At level 8 we'll take the Wardcaster feat, bumping intelligence, and take levitate. At level 9 we'll take lightning bolt for a super laser and modify memory to rewrite people's brains. FYI, if you can figure this build out using enchantment instead of necromancy, let me know. At level 10 we'll get inured to undeath and take mending and protection from energy. At level 11 we'll take create undead for more elite bots, and at level 12 we'll take the spell sniper feat, capping intelligence. We'll also take false light from artificer for a barrier. At level 13 we'll take crown of stars for an array of lasers, and at level 14 we'll get command undead. We'll also take disintegrate for another laser. At level 15 we'll take haste for more boots. Lastly, at wizard and artificer levels 16 and 4 we'll take the boons of combat prowess and spell recall, overclocking intelligence. We'll also get 4 spells, 2 from each class. From artificer we'll take alarm for lab security and grease for reasons. From wizard we'll take sunbeam for a mega beam and control weather. If Viktor Prime could do it, then I'm sure our Viktor could figure it out. Now that we're level 20 we finally have our modifiers. Our AC with mage armor is 15, our move speed is 30, and our average HP is 127 with 4d8 and 16d6 hit dice. And with that, we are done. Now what can these boys do? To start, we've got an army of super zombies with Jayce leading the charge and Viktor blasting from the back. Jayce is an absolute unit with some of the thickest HP outside of a barbarian, some pretty reliable melee damage, and even some ranged. Meanwhile, Viktor is just blasting away with an entire arsenal of lasers. For weaknesses, neither of these boys want to face a wisdom check, and Viktor is particularly weak to hugs. Their respective cannons are also pretty fragile, and necromancers have the usual issue of prep time. Weaknesses aside, across all possibilities, these two will always be each other's destiny. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you'd like to support my channel, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description. $1 a month gets you 2-day early access to my videos and access to all of my homebrew content. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments, and I'll see you all next time when I make Astolfo from Fate.